Well, let's be honest. By the time somebody's coming to me, the patterns are probably not good. You know, so it's
Right.
I'm not dealing with people that are doing great. So patterns I see that are difficult are if a mother does not have a really strong, secure, central image of herself, it causes a lot of trouble with a daughter. Because then the daughter is watching her mother. That's the only place we learn. So a daughter is not developing a strong, secure, inner image of herself. If mom is outside of herself, approved of, the daughter doesn't know any other way to be other than get outside approval as well. So there's not a good solid core of I'm okay and what I decide is okay. So a lot of times when I've got a daughter that's already, a mother-daughter team that's already in a bad situation, it's because the daughter has been doing things, activities, to try and get approval and try and fit in and try and look good. And often, in today's society, that's everything from smoking dope and doing drugs and running with not so great a crowd, to cutting, to not knowing who she is without fabulous clothes, all of that. I also find if a mother isn't real secure about herself, and her own beauty and her own power and her own strength and her own who she is without money, or who she is without a husband, or who she is without And my mother's no longer alive, so I can talk about it. Okay? My mother would compete with me. Okay? If a mother competes with her daughter to prove, on the mother's side, to prove she's still beautiful, she's still got it, she's still happening, she's still relevant, all of that. If she still wants to be younger than she is, she's competing with the daughter, and the daughter is just left empty. Because how do you gain strength from somebody that's competing with you? It's really bad.
Yeah.
And I can remember one time my mother saying, a couple different things, and we've discussed it, but I chose a very different lifestyle than my mother lived, and a very different lifestyle than my mother approved of. And she was, interestingly enough, fascinated by it, always wanted to know about it, but then would sniff her nose at it and this and that, and well, I could have, and I remember saying to her one time, I find jealousy in a parent disgusting. And I meant it. And when I work as a therapist, I can say that to my own mother. Okay? But when I work as a therapist, I really try, that is one other thing that you find. If there is a jealousy, the daughter is more privileged there was just a great television show on Mildred Pierce. That's a great literature piece.
I can't wait to see that.
That's a literary piece of a mother that was middle class, but was striving to make sure her daughter lived a higher life and a better life, and then was so desperately jealous of her. And so desperately jealous of the lifestyle she had then given her daughter that she didn't have. That's a really big issue. That's a really big, really tough one. And it's a very insidious one and very subtle one, because the mother is who has to stay the most aware of it. So as a mother, if you are giving your daughter and working to give your daughter a better and different life than you had, it's got to be, it's best given as a sheer gift from your heart because you love this child and want a better life for her.